What's going on? Welcome back, friends. Collegiate finals are upon us. We apologize for the break. Of course, we had a three-way tie. That's how you know the action is getting crazy. But nonetheless, it's still riding. It's still my main man, Last. How you feeling, man?
I'm feeling great. You know, I was out there watching a little bit of the melee crew battles that are going on as well, which is the Midwest bracket. I think Michigan has made their way into the finals, and currently Illinois is battling it out to try and get there with them. Ginger opened it up, did not actually do as well as I was expecting Ginger to do because they sent a dock in and Ginger got caped.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's going on over on, I believe, BTS Smash 2 if you guys want to check it out. But also, of course, keep it locked here for these collegiate crew battles because Oakland made their way through Oakland University, got through the dredges of those tie breaks. They slogged their way through, and they are here in the semifinals to face off against Michigan State University.
Right. Hey,
but before that,
that's right. It's a beautiful thing to see what you can do when you got your team behind you. And, of course, it's a beautiful thing when you find out about this wonderful event as well, too. Pantheon, Michigan State Esports presents Pantheon 2023, happening live at the Spartan Stadium in East Lansing on November 18th through 19th. There's a $3,000 pop bonus for this event with Onin, Apollo Kage, Guy Skittles, Doorstop, and many, many more competitors will be going for that goal. But that's not all. The first 200 players to sign up for the event will receive a custom trading card. That's speaking to me because I'm a big trading card fan myself, with their tag and their main, making this a very memorable event, and beating opponents will earn you their card. Legends will be born and champions will rise, friends. Please check that out. Michigan, of course, has produced some of the best tournaments in Smash history throughout the course of this game's lifespan. The Big House Frostbite, Showdown Battle Royale, you name it. Pantheon, of course, is now on that list as well.
Man, I'm going to only say I don't like that because I don't want to give up my card when I lose.
Yeah, no, I'm not doing it.
I'm going to enter bracket. I'm going to go 0-2. I'm going to be like, no, this is my card.
That's my card. It's not happening.
I don't want to give that up because how often do you get the chance to have yourself on a trading card? But we're, of course, huge shout-outs to Michigan State University, not only for putting on Pantheon, but also for being here in the semifinals of this Collegiate Crew Battle bracket as we get started with Oakland University sending in Avian, who is their resident Snake player, going to be facing off against ArcD from Michigan State, rocking that Palutena. And, you know, we're already off to the races. We already got those fireworks flying, Rod.
Yes, we most certainly do, man. It's not even July 4th right here. Let's see how this match is going to play out. I mean, of course, we have seen a multitude of snakes and Palutenas, of course, throughout this game's lifespan, but we got to see what these two players are going to bring to the table that makes them different now. This is looking really good right now. The B-reverse on the way down. I feel like Palutena harasses from up underneath like no other, but Snake, of course, equipped, armed to the teeth with a toolkit of their own. Very curious to see what's going to happen when that up tilt gets into play. Looks like it's not happening. Of course, back here getting busy.
Yeah, Palu, of course, very, very good at just like harrying you on your landing. She stays right underneath. She stays locked in, and she stays hitting those up airs. Gets that first stock off. Now Avian down 2-3 and 11-12 in the overall crew battle. So ArcD off to a fantastic start for Michigan State University.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. This is certainly how you want to start. But let's see how you finish right there. Explosive Flame on the coverage. Snake, of course, becomes the most difficult character in the world to do it when he has a lead. But when he's playing from behind and he has to deal with characters like Palutena, he's going to bleed out heavily right now. So, of course, not quite being able to land. Air dodges in, gets back to the stage. Going to go for that standing jab, of course, getting Palutena into the corner. Yeah, platforms don't belong to. There's the up tilt. That's right. Quick frame 6 option. And, of course, stepping out Palutena from up underneath.
That he did it off of the landing nair. He was like, fade back nair. I'm going to cover all the space in front of you. And then just as soon as you think I'm in end lag, I'm really not. Like, I can throw out another move expeditiously after that. So I'm going to throw out that up tilt, take that stock. But 100% on him, you know, that's not the end of the world for a Snake. Like, Avian going to be able to tank a whole lot longer, especially if ArcD's not careful.
Oh, yeah.
Got to chase him up high once again to get that up air to kill.
Yeah, and I think that's just something that he's certainly kept just cemented in the back of his mind. You know, what am I supposed to do when I have the lead? What really is a lead mentally? I mean, of course, we got ourselves even stocks, but percent's lead just a little bit heavier into the other side here, but we'll see for how much longer. Gets back to the stage. Right, but of course, not without taking that back here again. That's being -5 on shield. Not going to be much Snake going to be able to do the deal with that. Definitely because of how it spaces as well.
Yeah, fantastically played at the ledge there. You know, was positioning themselves for the trump as well. So, you know, Avian was like, all right, I'm gonna hop off ledge early so that I can avoid the ledge trump, but ArcD was still, like, ready to let that rip. Managed to get the back air like you were talking about. Fantastically strong move.
Oh, yeah.
Brings it to 1 stock on Avian. Oh, I mean, looking for a little bit of extra credit here and gets the nair. That's exactly what he was looking for because now that's a free 38% and maybe even more.
Yeah, so fast of a move as well. I believe just a frame faster than Snake's up tilt. So that first hit, of course, taking no prisoner. Snake, of course, already with the grenade gameplay. If you want to bring yourself back into this, might have to toss out a little bit of percent of your own, courtesy of that grenade. Palutena still has to get up close and personal to do anything, really. Yes, you have explosive flame and auto reticle, but Snake is on the other side of the room more times than not. There's the back air and the up air. Doesn't get anything off it. Down throw, up tilt is on the horizon as well now.
You were talking about like what do these players do that sets them apart from other mains of their character, and I'm gonna give it up to that F smash because that was pretty different to me.
Right.
I was gonna give Avian credit for how much they were crawling. They were making fantastic use of Snake's low profile crawl in order to just avoid a lot of landing areas from Palutena, but it doesn't matter in the end when you roll straight into an F smash and lose your life for it. ArcD going to be surviving with 2 stocks to continue on for Michigan State University. They now lead, and they got the whole squad up there coaching. Yeah, I love to see it.
You love to see it too, man. It's a lot of green up there right there. I love that. Great stuff, of course, from this team. The job ain't done yet, but it's certainly something to drive home about. I'd have to give it to them. I feel like that Snake, a very strong one, of course, showed a lot of promise, but there was just a lot of areas where I feel like they could have capitalized a little bit better. And Palutena, of course, just not letting Snake land for free. You got that frame 5 nair. Back air, of course, is such a daunting task. And then just next thing you know, you got the deficit. Now you got to approach Palutena. And just as campy as Snake can be sometimes when they got the lead, Palutena cut from a very similar cloth as well. So great stuff. Job ain't done yet. Curious to see what the opposing side is going to throw out.
ArcD definitely a wall to come up against, especially for the starter. Michigan State University got so many other players on the roster, and they still haven't even gotten past the first. But it does look like I can't quite see the face. Wondering who Coach Ori sent in.
Let's see. So crazy to see my boy Ori.
I think that was Spectral. I saw some red hair.
I think so too. Okay, we got the attendee badge. Okay, a lot of people with that.
There are a whole lot of people out there this weekend.
That's right. Big shout out to Riptide as well too. I believe we ran out of attendee badges.
They ran out of staff badges too. They're running out of all the badges because I was talking to a couple of the collegiate coaches about this. So many parents grandparents were out here to support their kids in these both singles and collegiate crew battles.
That's right.
That they flat out ran out of badges. They've been giving out wristbands.
Certainly a good problem to have, if I may say.
That is Spectral. All right.
Spectral is certainly here and present. ArcD versus Spectral to kick off this next game here. Very curious to see how this is all going to unfold. Now, of course, locked into Palutena, that character has a very firm spot in the meta, whether it be singles, doubles, whether it be, crew battles, you name it. Palutena, of course, a jack of all trades and a master of many. But Lucina, of course, very strong character in her own regard as well, too. Curious to see how this is going to unfold for Lucina. I mean, we don't get to see very much of her these days, but when she comes out in a big way.
Yeah, especially with the not full retirement, but the break of Proto Banham, both traveling internationally and attending Japanese tournaments. We haven't seen him in a hot minute, and so as a result, we haven't seen too much Lucina either.
No.
But Spectral, a very, very strong rep of that character, and she's never been bad.
No, that's
always been good.
Always been good. Always been good. Yes. So we'll see if they can certainly live up to that statement as well, too. Lucina blessed with some of the best normals, I feel like, in just the entire game. I don't know about Smash history, but at least in this game, standing jab, F tilt, down tilt, things like that. Of course, very tough for the opponents to work around. However, your opponent does have 2 intangible moves. First one being dash attack, second one being backer. I don't care how well you think you space with your little sword. That shield was given to Palutena from above. Okay, and it definitely
she gave that to herself.
That's right.
She's the goddess above herself, but
hey, it happens.
We'll see if Spectral's Lucina can drag her right down to earth. You were talking about standing normals, and we didn't even get the chance to mention too the aerials that Lucina's got. Lucina does not have a bad move.
No,
let's be completely honest. I think probably her worst move is maybe up smash, maybe neutral B, and they both have their applications anyway.
That's
so
right.
they're all good.
They most definitely do. Lucina just has something for every occasion. Same way with Palutena does for every format or bracket. I think Lucina certainly has that for every matchup. It's very hard for me to think of a matchup spread that Lucina might struggle in. I mean, some characters slightly better than her, but nothing like 60-40 in my personal opinion.
Nothing hard wipes the floor with Lucina.
No, absolutely not.
But I mean, it's honestly kind of the same thing with Palutena. We were talking about solid meta threats. That's both of these characters. Both these characters, a lot of longevity to them, a lot of multi-purpose tools for many matchups. Both of them can put in some work.
That's right. We'll see. We're certainly locked in and clocked in right now to put in that work, and maybe even overtime depending on how this match plays out. Of course, Palutena's going to have to lose this first stock here. She did lose one in that last match, I believe. And so now we're just kind of getting this button check in. Got to make sure, I guess, we can wave land properly in this game. Good Lord. I guess, it has its utilization.
Well, you're doing it now instead of in between stocks,
Yeah,
got to get it out of the way, but wrong person just SD'd, so I guess we're probably going to reset one more time.
I would hope
so. But, got to make sure, like you said, those buttons work. Got to make sure you get those wavelands in, and got to get ready for this next game. And, they're looking to both teams actually are going to be playing one more crew battle after this one.
That's right.
It's just up to them whether that's going to be the third place tiebreaker or if it's going to be the finale.
100%.
And both these teams definitely looking to go into the finale. Right now, it's Michigan State University that is more so poised to do it with that 2-stock lead, thanks to the work of ArcD.
That's right. ArcD, of course, has did a really good job here, but fortunately enough, the job is not done. Spectral and ArcD about to throw down right now. Palutena and Lucina. Femme Fatale, two very strong characters in this meta, and they ain't went anywhere. They ain't fell off the tier list just yet.
Well, finally, not on PS2.
I know, right?
I think the entire last crew battle for semis was on PS2 except one game on town.
Yeah. All right, well, somebody's going to have to get taken to town right here for other reasons. Dash attack right here to open up into draw blood first. That immediate frame 5 nair coming through. Lucina just fortunately not able to land, but yes, I got Dancing Blade, and I got forward air, and I also got that first hit of Nair, I believe frame 6, also super safe on shield 2. Can't say the same for the second hit, but something certainly to keep in the back of your mind if you're Palutena. You won't win every jump interaction versus Lucina.
Oh, but we see ArcD already going for it all. Like, off the bat was starting to search for that dare off stage.
Oh,
Tries to go high with the up air. All right, it ain't Snake. You can't fully contest that in the air. Lucina does have a pretty big disjoint in the Falchion blade.
Yes, sir.
Got to be careful there. Now coming back to stage. Spectral just trying to cover the entire ledge with that slow falling Nair. Gonna instead go for Nair 1 there. I like the idea. And chases all the way into the corner with the dash attack. Lucina dash attack, maybe not as strong as some of the other Fire Emblem counterparts, so not going to be able to close out the stock quite yet. And there's that intangibility on the dash attack that you were talking about earlier, Rod.
That shield we were certainly talking about. I'm really glad you brought up like the utilization of that first hit Dancing Blade. I feel like it's something that I feel like a lot of opponents kind of forget about a little bit. And of course, you get popped up a type of way, boom, falling up air comes out, and now you're kind of in the blender. Lucina, as you know, neutral, cut and drive a lady as she is. She also has a little sauce to her, but you brought the sauce. I got the heat for you, my friend. Getting cooked up right now, ArcD, getting it done in a big way, but wait a minute. Yeah, goodbye, and even tilts it up for good measure. Great stuff right here to Spectral.
I was saying earlier, probably her worst move, but still has its applications, pulling out that shield breaker and popping the shield. But the fact that ArcD was able to take another stock is huge for them. They don't need to be doing this. They already took their 3, and then they just added one more on top of it. Maybe even looking to do another here. They can take 5 stocks. We were talking about it with Northwood, with J-Jaw. That is absolutely huge for Michigan State University.
That's right. I feel like this is one of the issues I think Lucina kind of has in situations like this, that she doesn't really have any cheese, if that is even a thing.
No,
she has to get it done. She can't quite, lean into like some of the wonkier, Fire Emblem characters. They have like double X dance and corn tipper stuff. She has to really get her hands dirty. And I feel like for a wall that is Palutena, even if you are in the lead, what really is a lead to a Palutena as proficient as ArcD's, you are in some trouble right now.
Well, and again, a lead doesn't really matter too much here because ArcD's on his 5th stock, maybe even looking for the 6th, because like it's, you're playing against a Sonic, but you're not worried about them camping you out for the timer. There's no timer in a crew battle. You're just going to keep playing the same game plan until eventually you might come out on top, and ArcD very nearly came out on top in that interaction at the ledge. Dolphin Slash going to get Spectral out of dodge, set up that situation on the left side ledge so that he catches the roll with the up smash. Spectral going to close it out, but drop 2 stocks in the process. That does not bode well for Oakland.
No, unfortunately, started to cook a little late into that match. I hope that's not shades of maybe what's to come that might maybe bite him in the butt, but we'll see. Again, less is more. Great read at the ledge, just using their movement options to apply pressure. They get up off that ledge, read on the up smash, close it out. So great stuff right there to Spectral. Of course, Lucina still, I think, a character very poised to, face every matchup head on. However, we got one of the twins, I believe, sitting down on the big stage.
He came up and then he went back down.
Now, together, they are dangerous. Separate, they're also still very good as well, but I think they're calling us doubles. Let's see what this crew battle format's going to bring us.
I mean, there's a reason, like, you look at their Twitter tags, it's 2v2 Hawk and 2v2 Linus. True. But they could still definitely do some damage in other formats. And the thing that I'm curious about with Hawk stepping up, because Linus, for the record, Linus not on the Michigan State University roster, only Hawk.
Yeah.
I'm wondering what character Hawk's going to bring to bear, because he's got quite a few of them that he plays in doubles, and got quite a few of them that he plays almost exclusively in singles. So we'll have to see. I'm imagining it'll probably be the Rob.
Yes.
But it could be the Ike. It could be, quite a few different characters. We'll have to see what it is because, the big thing about playing a character like Rob is while they're very, very solid overall and very meta-relevant, they're still easy to counterpick.
They are, and they are still a character with no hitbox, not recovery, most namely. And I think a Lucina of this caliber is going to have a heyday with that, even despite the stock deficit. But I hope we see the Rob, not to take anything away from his Ike. His Ike is still very good, but, the Lucina, Crom, Roy, Ike, meta, that whole universe of just
that's Genesis 6, man.
Yeah, Genesis 6, and just very linear approach options at that too. It's very hard to kind of mix up the approach. Very easy to parry and counter each other. I would expect you to want a character at least with the projectile, just in case you wanted to break away from Lucina. You can lean into that, but we'll see how it goes. Again, Hawk, a master on the sticks to say the absolute
and it is
least.
the Rob.
It's going to be Rob. No Ike. Absolutely not.
No siree. Only needs to take one stock off the Spectral to further cement this lead that Michigan State University has found themselves with against Oakland. 10-7 is our scoreline right now. The Spectral takes a dive into the blast zone. Sorry, 9-7 is the overall scoreline.
Okay, one more. That's right.
And that's the mark of an honorable man. You see Hawk shooting the laser off to the side, making sure that he doesn't get a charge out of the fact that that his opponent is in the process of SDing.
That's right. Well, first interaction here is upon us. Kiersey's going to draw blood first. Now, of course, Spectral wasting no time taking away the gyro from Rob, understanding how formidable of a tool that is, especially versus the sorties off stage. As great as they are on stage, off stage, most of them in the game struggle to recover, especially versus somebody like Rob. So.
And the fact that we went a solid 20 seconds before either one of them managed to get that first hit off, it shows how careful both of them are of the other person's advantage state. They're terrified of getting into one of those bad situations, especially at the ledge, but so far it's been the Hawk show all the way. Spectral finally manages to connect with that up tilt to get started, but they might not get to finish as Hawk already puts him off stage, has him at ledge, looks for the back air, not going to connect.
Little off the mark right there. Back air in there, some of their safer options, not the fastest ones in the world, but certainly safe on shield, even for Lucina. Of course, Lucina intangible on the startup of that up B. She has a good get off me option as well too. The pressure gets a little thick. Get that down tilt out of here, down tilt and up tilt. Great boxing tools on Rob's behalf, but has to get it between Lucina and that sword. I'm going to be honest, not very many characters in the game can break that wall that she brings to the table.
Here's the thing now, Rob has so much straight hit kill power at his disposal. Spectral's going to have to play like his life depends on every hit, because you know what, Rod? It does. Any single mistake could result in this game finishing up, and there it was. Not quite going to be able to survive through that, but not going to be able to survive through that as the down air connects on the air dodge to ledge, and Hawk just very quickly sweeps up Spectral, brushes him to the side, says, bring out your next man.
That's right. Bring him out. In my TI voice, it is over. Hawk right now looking as formidable as ever. I got to give it to him. Was a little worried. I think Lucina, Rob, we've seen how matchups like those have gone. I was like, maybe he might be able to get one, but Hawk, of course, coming to that one very, very quickly, very, very spicy. So next game is here. Rob is where he's locked in. I feel like Rob is a very strong singles, doubles, crews, you name it, 4v4, whatever you need.
Rob is a strong character.
Rob is a strong character in every point in a crew battle, but it's all going to come down to what the opponent's bringing to the table, because as strong of a character as Rob is, he is certainly not without flaw.
Definitely not, and I mentioned it as Hawk went up to bat. Rob is a character that is easy to counterpick. If you got any number of characters at your disposal, I bet Oakland's wishing they fielded a Game & Watch right about now, but unfortunately for them, they do not have, at least as far as I know, a Game & Watch on their roster. I think that's Anthony, if I'm not mistaken.
Isn't cool,
I think that is Anthony Isn't Cool stepping up to the plate, who is going to be piloting the Cloud. And yep, I'm correct. Just making sure I wasn't misreading faces.
That's right.
But yeah, like we said, Anthony Isn't Cool, Cloud main extraordinaire, one of the biggest up and comers in both the Midwest and specifically Michigan.
Yes.
A very strong player who popped up during Wi-Fi and did not pop back down.
That's right. Yeah, I think people are very quick to kind of write that era of Smash off, the online era, but that's produced some of the best players. We got Enhanced PV and Didi from the online era as well too, and hell, even Spargo. Obviously he didn't come to fruition.
Spargo
during the pandemic, but
Spargo popped up Smash 4 Wi-Fi.
That's right. So yeah, it's very good to see him still do his thing to this day. But right now it is definitely the Anthony Isn't Cool show, and I think Cloud definitely has the toolkits needed to deal with Rob. The problem is that the stock deficit is so much out of favor for him. He's going to really have to work uphill here. But again, disjoint, you got that back air in the corner. very slow on startup, but very safe on shield being -3. Rob is going to be, you know what I'm saying, he's not going to be without challenge in a couple of these interactions.
And especially given the fact that, you know, they made the mistake of allowing Hawk to have 3 stocks left,
Well,
right? Like that's the big thing here. It's a full 3 stock, a full player deficit for Oakland University here as they go into this next game. Anthony Isn't Cool has it all to do, has, you know, basically the hopes and dreams of their entire university on their back. So we run into Battlefield. He's not the anchor,
no,
but he's got to set up his anchor as best he can because, you know, if Hawk manages to win through this game, that anchor's not going to be happy.
No, absolutely not.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it ain't looking good. Very smart. The immediate up special, the split-second decision-making right there. Hawk said, I got you right where I want you. Anthony Isn't Cool said, you thought. Great
Get me
stuff
out of
there.
here.
Yeah, I am out of here indeed. Nothing off the down. So these are those boxing tools I was talking about before. You get Cloud in disadvantage. Very smart to try to keep up that pressure as safely as possible. Okay, Cloud's going blue right now. Nair on the way down, slow but safe. Cloud said, you ain't the only one that got moves like that. Let me show you something.
And this is really good from Hawk. He's trying to do his best to make sure that Anthony can't land while he was going blue. He did manage to get back down there, use that limit break blade beam. But the fact that Hawk kept him juggled up high for so long while he had limit was just like, that's the chef's kiss of the matchup. It's how do you deal with Cloud when he's glowing. And Hawk, we're going to take the stock here.
Especially on a stage like, you know, not FD, but Battlefield.
Oh,
I mean, really
and there it is.
Really just tri-plats in general. You know, Cloud is definitely a kid on the playground, a kid at Chuck E. Cheese, if you will, when you give him platforms, but does not seem
Rob's
to matter.
the same, though. Like,
Rob is
up tilt
definitely
through
the same.
that platform, Rob, it's basically like whichever one of these characters is below the other one having a field day.
Yeah, there's definitely a silent mini game going on, to say the absolute least, but Hawk is definitely winning this mini game, if I may say so myself. Already taking a stock here, and this isn't looking good right now for Anthony Isn't Cool. Has to figure out a way to get the stock taken and fast. Has to bring me some sauce right now. A lot of these linear approach options that, you know, he's bringing to the table with Cloud as as they
he's
are.
stalling out the limit.
Yes,
he's waiting up at the top. You can't reach me.
Up B? Okay, no, just going to go ahead and burn it.
He's like, all right, I'll get rid of it if you come down here and fight me.
Yes, as potent as it is, there is a workaround to it. Fall away fair. Very good. Nice. I'm just going to get between you and the gyro. My goodness, man. Every time I think Cloud isn't as strong as he is, I see back air and forward air hit, and I'm just like, why? Why, bro?
And it do hit.
Right.
That's for sure. Anthony Isn't Cool has an opportunity to start bringing back this deficit here if he can find an early string and an early stock, but we already seen it. Hawk is not letting that happen. Not quite going to connect with back air.
Uh-oh.
Pushes him into the gyro. Okay, he doesn't pop the right direction. That's unfortunate for Hawk, but he's not going to let, that's no skin off his nose.
No, absolutely
He's just going to
not.
keep fighting.
Okay, oh my God.
You were expecting the low up.
Man, I was like, don't do that. Don't do that.
Don't do that to me.
Right,
don't do that to Hawk. Don't do that to yourself.
Oh, and I'm loving this. A lot more up specials. I would like to see more of these out of shield, especially when Hawk wants to get a little handsy, like that down tilt or that up tilt. Up out of shield is a great get off me moves, but okay, still going to be able to survive this 172%. I believe the rage starting to come back there on Anthony Isn't Cool's behalf. Early on the up B, that's okay, though. Platform's coming to save me.
Yeah, that Cloud climb hazard,
Wow.
No. Okay, he's fine. He's fine. He's fine. Yup.
Wow.
Gets just high enough, and Anthony bets it all on side B connecting. Not going to do so, and he's going to lose his stock for literally nothing. Unfortunate for him.
Mega unfortunate indeed. Maybe just bit off a little bit more than he can chew.
Well, great stuff to Hawk, too, like recognizing, all right, my opponent is running at me like a mock truck. I got to go high. I got to get to a spot where he cannot reach immediately because he's going to have to pull the trigger soon or else he's going to lose limit.
Yeah. Yeah. Limit, of course, is being one of the biggest X factors, I feel like, in this matchup that we just aren't really seeing, you know, utilized properly. There's the up tilt again, and it kind of goes back to what we talked about before. Both sides really loving these platforms. Wait a minute. Yes,
I love that.
Hawk loves it with up tilt. Anthony Isn't Cool loves it even more with up smash. No, that's safe. Get off me, bro. There's the up B out of shield again. Want to see more of that, especially center stage. I have the platform above to reset me when things get a little crazy. Wait a minute. Limit's almost here. You're almost to those dark red percents. Nothing off the back here. Yeah. Oh, my God. Reset. Can I get another?
Gets the second one. You know, more than happy to get that damage on the board. Hawk looking for a back air here, looking to close out Anthony Isn't Cool's time in this crew battle and in this bracket. Gonna go real high, timing out the limit once more. Jump straight over it. It's a little bit of damage too, you know. Slap him up with that the forward air.
Oh, my goodness. And perfectly spaced parry right there on the back here. Again, Cloud, one of his tougher aerials to have to work around. Gyro, I'd imagine. Yes, gets the drop down. Air dodge, forward air. That's a rinse and repeat right there. Smash ultimate one-on-one on how to deal with Cloud in the corner. Great stuff. Giving us a little bit of that less is more. Did not imagine that would come down to the final hits center stage, we certainly need to see the offstage play come through.
And the fact that there was literally no respite for Anthony Isn't Cool, especially like that entire final stock and that entire final sequence. He was like, all right, let me try and go to top platform. Let me try and get out of here. Let me try and find some semblance of safety under platform, on platform, at the ledge, off stage. None of it worked. Hawk was on him the entire time, chasing him down, and, you know, ended up taking another stock. That's 4 stocks on the board for Hawk, and a 7-3 lead for Michigan State University. They are knocking on the door of grand finals here.
We are almost there, but the job still ain't done yet. Hawk, of course, cemented firmly in that seat. 1 stock left. The Cloud definitely got busy right there on Anthony Isn't Cool, but there's just a couple areas where I felt like he should have been able to capitalize just a little bit more. Namely, you know, when Rob leaves his feet, we didn't quite see the harassment from Cloud like we usually see it the other way around from Cloud on
we were talking about
Rob on Cloud. So yeah,
whoever can get underneath the other character should be able to do a really good job of, you know, like harrying them. But it was all Hawk all the way. Up next, though, and finally, we have the anchor for Oakland University. That is Rob. Not the Rob, though, the Snake.
Yes, that's right. This is the Rob Snake here. So let's see how this one goes. I think, you know, Snake, again, still very strong character. You know, not to say that Rob is not. Rob, of course, certainly has kind of had a bit of a renaissance within the last so many months here. You know, I think more people starting to pick this character up, and then the ones that have been doing it a while starting to get their flowers where they can still smell them. So game here is upon us. Of course, the forwarder right here to kick it off. Quick move, but not quicker than the detonation right here on this grenade.
Oh, get down from there, please, before one of you gets hurt.
That's right. He said, that's my dance move, bro. You don't do that. I do that. Okay, try to get up there and stall Rob out, but Rob has gas galore. He might be up there a lot longer than you probably want him to be. Grenade in hand. Nice.
Yeah, Snake can get up there, but Rob can stay up there, and that is the critical difference between the two of them in that situation. And Rob, you know, he keeps trying to play this grenade game plan, but it's only been backfiring so far. Hawk been so good at playing around these, you know, even using them to his advantage, throwing them right back into the face of Rob.
Yeah, I'm just playing a bit of a hot potato game here, if I may say so myself. I mean, you know,
Back
I'm not
throw here.
saying that, you know, Snake only needs the grenades, but you take that away from him, this forces Snake to kind of rethink their game plan a little bit. Now, Snake, of course, blessed with some really good normals, too. Has a frame 3 jab, first hit an F-tilt frame 4. So, I mean, you know, you could throw down with Rob pretty easily here, but
those great normals don't matter if he can't get in, though, Rod.
Yeah,
and that's the big thing that Hawk has just completely stuffed him out the entirety of this first game. Grab here, a back throw, and a DI mix, too. I think he might have been starting to DI for an up throw onto the platform. Did not DI that correctly, and paid for it with his stock. That is 5 stocks on the board for MSU's Hawk.
Yeah, 100%. You know, Hawk right now looking really good here. 112%. I'd imagine this match right here might end with the 2-stock victory on Rob, but with the way Hawk is playing right now, I don't know if we're going to be able to stop this machine right now. Off the grid here. There's the F-tilt. Great on the shield. Gets the jab lock. Handful of lasers right now. Elects to go for the
Oh, man!
Okay, he tried.
Oh, and there it is!
Oh, my goodness.
Off the grid, off the top. It doesn't matter. We're off everything as Hawk takes another one. 6 stocks. Easy MVP for MSU here.
It's certainly the play style you certainly want to see here. There's the dash hack breaking the zone, but not much zone left to break right now when you are, unfortunately, I'm gonna keep it real, man. You're kind of backed against the wall right now. Dash hack coming through, that's going to get it done, but there's a part of me that believes in a different timeline. Hawk just kind of kept the aggression going, but we're not going to see it here. Rob moving on, 1 stock. Let's see what the other side brings.
And there's a universe where Hawk closed it out then and there. He was like, all right, bring us the finals.
That's right.
Bring us Northwood. We're ready.
Bring us.
They are certainly looking ready as they deliberate. You know, Grayson going to be making that call, the coach of MSU, and figure out who they're going to send. But they got 2 more. So even if in the universe where Rob, you know, goes on a tear, 3 stocks to 1, manages to take down the next player that Michigan sends in, they got another one in the pocket, and they got a lot of heavy hitters.
Yes, they do. Of course, they are here armed to the T in terms of synergy, in terms of just like having that teamwork that's needed to make the dream work. They definitely know what it takes, you know what I'm saying, to, you know, get this W. But the issue again is, of course, always the other side. Don't want to take anything away from the opponents here. They have fought long and hard to get here. I can't ignore the elephant in the room that is the #1 seed, sitting very comfortable right now.
Well, I mean, this is Rydra stepping up to the board, one of MSU's alternate players, at least according to their roster. But, you know, even their alternates are stronger than some people's main rosters.
That is fact.
This is MSU One stock left on Rob, sending out the Ridley, looking to take that one away. And you know, we were talking about like Northwood, the #1 seed, sitting pretty in Grands, but they only won their crew battle 4-0.
That's right.
This is an opportunity for Michigan State University to take down Oakland 6-0, 5-0.
5-0.
They could do it here.
Yes, it is not out of the realm of possibility, but of course, you're just going to have to fight that much harder. Let's see how it goes. It starts with, of course, getting through this match here. Rob, unfortunately, down to his final sock and has to get through Ridley here.
Uh-oh.
I mean, if this was singles in a different sort of format, I say this should be a very easy task with only one stock. With how proficient Ryder is,
GG's.
yeah, sometimes less is more. The threat of me off stage is enough to get it done. Great stuff right here to Ryder.
And a little bit of an anticlimactic ending to a very solid crew battle from both rosters. Oakland did a fantastic job, put up a fantastic fight, but alas for them, they are going to be heading to that third-place tiebreak to take on Purdue instead of moving on to the finals to take on Northwood University because, of course, Michigan State University will be there instead.
That's right. That will be there no matter what, just like the meme said. So great stuff right here. Of course, all the players on board. Loving what I'm seeing here, and more importantly, I'm loving the team synergy. You know, you can really see now that we're kind of creeping up on these finals, so many sets. Like, we had a game plan in hand. This is the beauty of crew battles. We had a game plan in hand. You might have, you know, wanted to go first, second, third, whatever the case may be. But, you know, depending on the stock count, depending on the character matchup, because like you mentioned before, some players have multiple characters on their tool belt. Now you're starting to see the coaches really come through and say, hey, how about you sit this one out and you go in, and then we'll flip up the script. So this is great.
That's something that's so cool to me personally is that, like, those are, like, real jobs, like full-time, part-time, depending on the university, but they have real coaches getting paid, you know, some real money to shepherd these teams to these championships.
No
doubt. You know, we saw Coach Ori repping for Oakland University, and we saw Grayson repping for Michigan State. They came head-to-head. Grayson and his squad came out on top. They're going to be moving to the final, and we'll see them a little bit later. But, you know, Northwood, we've been talking about it this entire bracket. You know, all the commentators who have been on throughout today, they've been talking about Northwood, and there is a reason. They are the #1 seed. They are the favorite. They are the team to beat.
They are the team to beat. Of course, they are the talk of the town for very obvious reasons. Like we mentioned before, it's a lot of bragging rights on the line here more than anything else, you know, for these college teams. And when you got that target on your back, everybody's kind of aiming for you. But, you know, on the side note, I wanted to see University of Akron play a little bit better, too. I did some of their matches this morning, and I believe they had Cytonics on their team. And I was just like, damn, I didn't know Cytonics was in college, but that's just me being the old man thinking everybody's my age. These players are very young, but also very potent. And I wanted to see them just a little bit later on in the bracket, too. I think Cytonics, obviously a very strong individual. The rest of that team kind of formed around him and his greatness. Would have been a nice thing to see, but again, it is still Northwood with that target on their back.
But the big thing, and we've been talking about coaching staff, the big thing about having a target on your back, there's so much like footage out there to study.
That's true.
There's so much information because you've been, you know, beating down on all the other teams. So all the other teams, you know, they might even be getting together in the back rooms talking about, all right, one of us has got to beat Northwood. Let's figure out how. We see it in singles too with like when MK Leo was reigning for the longest time. There were councils convened to try and figure out how to take Leo down, but we'll see if the councils will be enough to do it for Northwood coming up here soon. But I think before that, we are going to be heading to a very short break. So everybody, keep it tuned here. This is the final stream for Riptide today going on. There's nothing else to watch